Welcome to Peace, Abundance, Light. Tonight we will be discussing sacred sex. What is sacred sex? Sacred sex is linked to historical ideologies such as tantric sex, kundalini, chakras. You might have heard of all these words, and we will be discussing those in depth along with ancient tantric sexuality. However, tonight we're just going to be giving a basic overview of what sacred sex is linked to. And sacred sex is linked to being mindful and intentional about sex in order to be our divine selves. When having normal sex, where it's not so intentional, not so mindful, it's usually linked to self-gratification or even manipulation and control, which these are debasing ourselves when we do them during sex, and it can also cause blockages within our body, and also it links to past traumas which will be received by yourself and your partner during sex. And just like with DNA and cells in the body, transference of these cells can live in your partner's body for up to 7 years. Energy can also live in your partner's body for many more years than that. So it's very important to be intentional and to be mindful about the partner that you pick. This doesn't just link to what they look like physically, it's about what they possess mentally and what they are consuming in their bodies, such as the food that they eat, because many things around us in today's society can be very toxic. And if you engage in sexual relations with somebody that is full of toxicity, you will then receive that toxicity, and it could add to traumas that you're already dealing with, and you might come away feeling worse for being with them than you were before you lay down with them. So it is very important to be mindful. However, sacred sexuality can bring about healing of the mind, body, and soul. So it's very important to have sex with somebody that is on a higher being of divinity. So, in regards to healing and choosing the right partner, we can't expect anything of others that we don't possess ourselves. So we have to respect ourselves first. So we have to be mindful about what we're eating, what we're watching, what we're reading, the people that we're around, and what we associate ourselves with, in order to have sacred sex. To be sacred is to be of a higher being. So it has to start with you before you look outwardly for that. Sexual retention, celibacy, or abstinence can really help in healing past traumas. There's also yoni breaths that you can do, which are exercises to gain control over your body and your chakras, to release and remove any trauma that you've experienced sexually. Now, with the Pal Yoga, we do offer these services, so feel free to contact me on my social media platforms. And we will be back again talking in depth about sacred sexuality and tantric yoga and sexuality, and Egyptian tantric yoga and sexuality. But if you've had trauma in your past in regards to sex, feel free if you do need somebody to talk to contact me, and we can work through some of those traumas that you've experienced. But yes, sacred sexuality is you at your highest being and being mindful and intentional about sex.